Duh, 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 duh. Well, I guess this is another video we have to do to keep our algorithmic behavior up, because everything relies on the algorithm these days. My name is Tanner, you're watching Shlama Show. Today we're going to talk about some writings that I do. For those who don't know, call this video what you will, maybe schizopolitics or schizophilosophy. I have schizoaffective disorder. Essentially this means I have bipolar disorder with extra steps. One of these extra steps is that I love writing more than most people. Is this a bad thing? Inherently, no. But to the normal, it is seen as weird, and anything that is seen as weird can be medicated and cut out of a person like a disease. What are we doing here? Our existence is a cosmic splooge, which causes many unique experiences. How much of our experiences are bullshit, though? The grift we use permeates every action. We need to ensure our survival by any means necessary. For many, this means exploitation. Spectacle surrounds all. We exploit others to maintain the spectacle. The cycle feeds the grift of our existence. Therefore, the grift is a society filled with endless treats. When treats are endless, there is no meaning to the treats we have. The spectacle, however, is being revealed as is, and this is good, as meaning can be found again from the treats, or some think. This is false, as meaning being objectified in this manner makes spectacle and the treats that we have meaningless. Our society has no collective spirit or any organized labor league of any sort, and yet we say everything is completely normal, just as it always was. We exist in the wagey cagey, toiling away at our lives. In exchange for our money, we agree to sell our soul, our sweat, but most importantly, our labor. On these terms, we abide to this social contract that brings little meaning outside of your work. The point of contention begins when you feel this policy isn't affecting you in the best ways. What is to be done? There are actually a few things. Our society has existed with the class dynamic since the beginning of the Babylonians, and yet we persist in this struggle. I consider myself to be an absurdist nihilist. For some reason, I am just almost painfully optimistic about the future, given though I know nothing. Nothing really matters. But the way I see it is, since we know that nothing ultimately matters, that means that our goal should be to find the meaning that you've been lacking. In better words, nothing matters, and that's okay. We're in the era of monsters. I think that can be said enough. Time goes on, and I'm still here. Water flows down your face. Alarm bells ring and sirens go off. They tell you it's all okay. The only thing I can confirm is what is experienced. Others experience things, so they exist, at least from this understanding. Cops get madder and badder as the days goes on. Everything is symbols. Some are better than others. There's no longer language, only recognition. There's no longer country, only corporate colors. I'm scared. I just want to clear my mind. Sometimes. Sometimes I just love to jot everything down, even though if the thought is utterly useless. It's fun and healthy. The objective is simple: improve our lives by any means necessary. When we were children, we used to think being an adult was going to be this enthralling, liberating state of being. And to an extent, yes, it is. But there is a cost to every transaction we make. For while it appears that knowledge is indeed a blessing, with great power comes great responsibility. And this responsibility is to spread your knowledge to as many people as you can. Knowledge is meant to be shared, for it is through a better understanding of material reality that we can make change. Tucker Carlson infuriates every cell, nay, every pore in my body. He is single-handedly responsible for some of the most heinous statements to be made by a person in the modern media. And the worst part is, he's a grifter. Not even a real one either. Doesn't even believe what he's saying half the time. That's what makes me mad so many times. You know, he's a grifter. He's lying and he knows he's lying. But what are you gonna do? Everything I write should not be taken as is. God can't save us. God is us. We are all God. We will never save ourselves. No one can. I'm great. I feel good. This is mania. I need to calm down. But I'm lying. This was in a past tense, and I'm reading to you in the present tense. Anyways, always remember, if corporations could, they would have us as slaves. There would be daily hunts for escaped slaves. This is what we fight for. This is the ability to not be enslaved by the owners. Never stop posting. This is the truth. Martin Luther of the 95 Thesis was the original poster. In my opinion, for this reason, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He divided the universal church. Absolute Chad. If he never existed, the Protestant Reformation may have happened way later down the line, and secularism as an idea might not exist. And as a secularist, kinda poggers. For this reason, Martin Luther is the GOAT. Never stop posting. Seriously, never stop posting. Never stop posting. Never stop posting. Our government hell, our whole society we serve under is morally a false reality. None of this is more real than we let it be. If we wanted, these systems could be gonzo. NATO, historically, does not like communism. They go cuckoo for those Cocoa Puffs. Always remember that when you hear people simping for NATO. This is kind of my yearly manifesto writing. I don't know if this is reality. To be honest, I don't care. My anxiety acts up whenever I use VR headsets. I don't want to experience it. VR gives me existential dread. The worst feeling ever. You're listening to the Manifesto Hour with Tanner. Sometimes my head feels like it is about to explode, and yet I feel fine. I'm tired. Here's a bit of info regarding how corporations fuel the culture war to inadvertently accelerate profits. Essentially, through data analysis, corporations will partake in the culture war by antagonizing an issue. Then, whichever side is upset buys said product to make a stand against the corporation, or so they think. This means profits and free advertising. Essentially, corporations do this because they know which issues will make them that ding-ding-ding-a-ling cream, baby. Because, you know, cash does rule everything around us. Don't fall for the manufactured outrage and keep fighting the good fight. And what is the good fight? Well, let's talk about some fucking policies. For starters, housing. The fight for housing, for free, affordable housing, has never been more relevant. As companies like BlackRock and others buy up all the property in some areas, we need to understand that housing is a fundamental right for people. Without it, we die. What is another policy that we could be pushing for? Well, it's an old one and it's kind of cliche, but how about Medicare for all? Fuck off with this affordable healthcare. We could just be giving free healthcare to citizens. Free. Through our taxes. How about another one? Let's see. Higher wages for people. The fact that the federal minimum wage has been $7.25 for almost 2 decades is embarrassing in a sign of decline and failure as a whole. You know what really worries me these days? You know what really grinds my gears? The fact that no one actually talks about policy anymore. I'm sure, you know, if you've been hanging out with me, you've heard me vent this in various ways. I really don't like how people don't talk about policy anymore. It's all politics, and it's not even good politics either. It's all culture war bullshit. I don't like this fucking Fox News slant on how people view politics. Like, everything's woke, or everything's anti-woke, or Antifa, BLM, blah, 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 blah. I want to bang my head on a fucking table every time I hear these people talk. You know, I'm out here actually talking about things that would improve our lives materially. Again, healthcare, higher wages, and housing. And instead of actually, like, our reality is so far shifted from those achievable things because we think they are so unachievable that instead we focus on bullshit. And again, like I said earlier, corporations take part in this and they know, and mostly I guess what I'm saying is you are being actively distracted. Wake the fuck up. It sounds cliche, but wake up. Do you honestly give a fuck about Target selling rainbow shit? Do you honestly give a fuck about whatever cartoon you're watching being woke? Do you honestly give a fuck if Bud Light is selling beer that advertisements for gay people? You do realize that the reason why companies do this is because they understand that it will be more profitable to include people than to just be like, we're Bud Light, we hate motherfuckers who are black and gay, bro. It's like, what are we talking about? Like, what is this? This is all just fake bullshit. And that's my TED Talk for the day. My name is Tanner. You're watching Shlama Show. We're fucked. We're so very fucked. But as always, if you liked this video, smash that like button so the algorithm doesn't destroy me, and please consider subscribing. Maybe comment a video that we can talk about next. We're always publishing videos, and I would love to talk to you people about some stuff. Bob bless, and God help us all.